Le Jardin de Versailles était magnifique. The genius behind the landmark was the landscape architect, André Lenotte. He had worked on the garden de Vaux-le-Vicomte and was hand-chosen to design the gardens of Versailles by Louis XIV himself after he saw his work at the fête. Louis XIV was known as the sun god because the sun represented fairness, authority, and harmony. Notter wanted to incorporate this theme to the garden. He created a grand fountain, the Bassin du Apollo, from which Apollo and his horses can be seen riding out of the ocean. A second fountain depicts Apollo's mother, Latona. A third represents the grotto of his wife, and Apollo resting with his horses. Since the gardens were created in part of a tribute to the king, Notter succeeded in bringing the central element of Apollo into the garden. The path on which these fountains lay represents the east-west axis of the garden. The gardens of Versailles were meant to impress. Each individual area of the garden was created with a different purpose and feel in mind. One section which directly reflected the king's interest in the unusual was the labyrinth. The labyrinth was a large forested maze which contained fountains at every intersection. These fountains contained character sculptures from Aesop's fables. The journey through the labyrinth became somewhat of a moral journey for travelers. This reflects Notter's ability to take something simple and relate it to a larger part of life. The Bassin de Neptune and the Fountain du Jargon was the largest of the multiple fountains of the garden. It contains 99 jets and was considered to be one of the most influential structures of the gardens. Despite the plight of the 30,000 laborers and the fact that the project almost bankrupted France, the Jardin de Versailles remains a landmark and influential part to not only Versailles and French history, but to the rest of the world as well.